Hello everyone, it's Jeff back with you again. Sooner than later than last time. As promised, this is a contest entry for Mazzy's contest, which I will try to remember to put a link to down below. And he posted the contest video, I think sometime last week. And it's all about, well, most of it is about the year 1969. And it's also because he's kind of midway between 500 and 600 subscribers. So congratulations on that. That's always a monumental feat. And deservedly so, because if you haven't checked out, actually the channel is Norman Maslov. That's his name, but everyone calls him Mazzy, including himself. So if you haven't checked out his channel, you're really missing out, because not only is he a cool guy, you know, he's someone that you want to hang out with, play music with, have a drink of whatever type with, you know. Very knowledgeable in music, big Beatles fan, big jazz fan. I love watching his stuff. So he'd seen the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which I also saw. I saw it not last weekend, but the weekend before. And I love that movie too. I'm a fan of Quentin Tarantino, so, you know, anything he does is, I already know it's going to be a certain level of quality there. So, and this one didn't disappoint. And because 1969 was such a tumultuous year, such a big epic event type of year that are celebrating 50th anniversaries, like Woodstock this week, the original Woodstock. A lot of these questions are centered around that year. So he was 15. Mazzy was 15 in August of 69. Me, I was still in the oven. I was in my mom's belly in August of 69. I wasn't born until December of 69. So I'll be having a 50th anniversary of my own later this year, around Christmas time. 12/12, so that's my birthday. It's very easy to remember my birthday, December 12th, 12/12. So later this year, I'll be having my own 50th. But this week, we're celebrating Woodstock too. So in between me playing the Woodstock 3 triple album set, I'm taking a few minutes here to make a contest entry. And I've got a stack of records here to show, to illustrate my answers for 6 questions. And the bonus question, I don't know if you get a bonus entry or not, but you have to know his 3 favorite bands. And I think I know 2 of them for sure, but I don't know if I know the 3rd one. Maybe I just didn't pay close enough attention, so I know. Bad Jeff. But anyway, I'm going to answer the 6 questions that are listed here. So we're going to start right now with show an album that you think everyone should own. Now, being that the majority of this contest is centered around the 1969 theme, I decided to pick an album from that year to illustrate this answer. And I'm going with Tommy by The Who. This is an 80s repress. I wish I had an original copy. Maybe someday I'll come across one. But this is really the album where The Who broke through and became ultra mega superstars. And again, deservedly so, because this is a fantastic album. Admittedly, I listened to the Live at Leeds version of Tommy more than the studio, but the studio version is very, very good too. I played this countless number of times in the 80s when I was in high school. In fact, I'm surprised these records are still in decent shape. But that's my pick for an album I think everyone should own, Tommy by The Who. It's, and I think most people own this anyway. I mean, this is a classic. And it's always going to be a classic, no matter how old it is. So, there you go. The second question. A record to put you or someone in the mood. Didn't really say what kind of mood. I'm assuming he's meaning a certain way, but I think I have something that will cover pretty much all the bases. I know, Dark Side of the Moon. What? Well, let's see. If you're in the mood to get high, obviously, this is a classic stoner album. If you're in the mood to, you know, have a little fun with a special someone, put The Great Gig in the Sky on. Yeah, I've done that before. Believe me, it works. So maybe not an obvious choice, or maybe too obvious of a choice. I don't know. But I wasn't going to go with something super obvious like Barry White or Al Green. I'm sure other people will. But for a spectrum of moods, I think this album covers almost anything. So Dark Side of the Moon is the answer to the second question. Putting someone in the mood. An album, this is question number 3. An album with beautiful cover art and packaging. I'm also going with Pink Floyd. This was the recently released box set called Pulse. And basically you could take your pick over any of the 4 albums that are in here for beautiful cover art. You've got this. Every side has something really cool looking in it. You've got this. It's the back. Then of course you have this. Beautiful images. And of course this as well. So if you ask me, Pink Floyd is a band that certainly got it in terms of making their albums distinctive looking and memorable. Let's see if I can get these back in the box without killing them. I got most of them. Okay, here we go. So, this is, and it's heavy too, goddamn. It's a beautiful set. It got re-released last year. I'm not sure if they're still available or not, but if they are, do yourself a favor and get the Pink Floyd Pulse box set. That's the answer for question number 3, an album with beautiful cover art and packaging. Okay. Question number 4. An artist whose entire catalog you own or are working on owning. I had a hard time coming up with the answer to this question because, as you all know, I'm a fan of several artists whose albums I've shown on a lot of my videos for over the years. And while I could have picked someone like Robin Hitchcock, I don't really own everything of his. I mean, he put out a lot of albums in the 90s that are CD only. So when you're trying to collect things up on vinyl, you kind of have to stop at a certain point and switch over to CDs, which I may do at some point in the future. But, you know, I could have gone with another obvious one for me, like, you know, Neil Young or the Stones, or even the Beatles, where I have large chunks of their collection, if not all of their collection. But as you can see by all these album covers I'm showing as I'm blabbing away, XTC is my choice, and this is actually the cutoff point. This is their album from 1989, Oranges and Lemons. And None Such was an album that came out in 92. I don't think it had a vinyl release in America. I think it was a UK only vinyl edition. And then after that, I know both volumes of Apple Venus 1 and 2, I think, have been re-released on vinyl. I own the second one, which is called Wasp Star. on CD, and I just have to go back to get those. So I'm 3 albums short of having an entire XTC catalog. So maybe someday. That is the answer to question number 4, an artist whose entire catalog you own or are working on owning. Now, question number 5, an artist who released their first album in 1969. Now, after he released his contest video, Mazzy did another video in 1969 showing a ton of albums from that year. He didn't hit them all, but one that I picked just because I've played it so many times is the Allman Brothers' first album, the self-titled album, which I have as part of this twofer. This is a reissue that has their first album and Idlewild South. So that's how I tracked this down on vinyl. This is a great pressing too. It sounds just fine. It just doesn't have the same cover as their first album. But the self-titled Allman Brothers album from 1969 is my pick for that. And your favorite album from 1969 is question number 6. And I think, well, this was another one that he didn't show, but I'm going with Santana's first album. Self-titled, otherwise known as the White Lion album. Probably not their best recorded album, but seeing performances of these songs live, or hearing them, I should say, makes it a whole lot better. But I can still put this album on and enjoy it front to back, anytime, anywhere, and it always delivers. And this was another one that Mazzy did not show, which didn't really influence my decision, but I was thinking of Santana somewhere in this contest as an answer, so I knew I was going to use this album. I've got a bunch of other ones that he showed from 69, but I kind of based my decisions off of number of listens and how long it's ingrained itself into my brain. So the first Santana album is my answer to question number 6. So there you have it. There's my entry. Hope you liked it, Mazzy. Hope everybody liked it. So if you haven't, like I said, if you haven't checked out his channel, I will put a link to the contest video, and that will get you to the other videos in this channel too. So hope to see a lot of entries. I hope this contest is very successful for you, Mazzy. And Jeffy loves you. So I will see you guys again soon. Everybody take care. Peace. I'll see you.